Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Christian Rodriguez, and today I wanted to talk about life is unpredictable. Either you adapt or you fall behind, right? And I'm personally for me, right, before COVID, right, I was going to the gym. I still go to the gym consistently, but before COVID, I was doing the typical gym bro stuff, going to the gym. I had a gym partner. I had a workout partner. I was doing the push pull legs, like the bro split. This was back when I was in my hometown, right? And I even worked out with a friend who was in better shape than me. He actually helped me get back in shape when I stopped working out for a year. And I remember he was in better shape, he was stronger than me, and I would always follow his lead when it came to the workouts. I would always do what he did. He always had the routine. I was like, "Hey, you lead." He would always spot me if I needed help, if I struggled, if I wanted to quit. He would push me more than be on my limits, right? We would celebrate if we hit PRs, typical gym bro stuff, right? And I'm grateful for it. But unfortunately, COVID hit, right? And when COVID hit, what happens? The gyms close, right? Because there's lockdown. So the gyms are closed, there's lockdown, right? I was living at my parents' house at the time. So I'm stuck in my parents' house, right? I'm stuck inside their house. I only have access to the backyard. And with the New York winters, right, this started in the winter time, I wasn't in the backyard. So I was in the house all day, which sucked, right? There was like a month that I did not step outside the house. It was really bad. It was that bad. I remember. And I remember I was watching Netflix, like spending wasting time watching TV, watching Netflix, playing video games, doing all the like lazy, typical lazy stuff, eating whatever I wanted, right? Not grooming, like it was everything that like because you didn't need to leave the house, you weren't around people, so you didn't have to do like certain things. And then I realized I'm like, this is kind of like I know we're in lockdown, and this is like acceptable right now by society to like be a lazy fuck, but I'm like, I just thought about it. I'm like, this is kind of like a way for me to get ahead of most people, right? Like I can't if I wait, if I use the excuse that the gyms are closed, so I'm not going to work out, right? I use that as an excuse, and and it's socially acceptable. People aren't going to say, "Oh yeah, you're right. The gyms are closed, so you shouldn't do anything." But the fact that the gyms are closed, right? I was just like, I can't wait for the gyms to open up. I don't know when they're going to open up. This is unpredictable. I don't know how long I'm going to be in my room for, right? So what I started doing is I ordered a yoga mat on Amazon. I remember, um, and I started doing body weight workouts. Like hit workouts, body weight. YouTube workouts. I was going on YouTube. I was going on TikTok. I was doing all these follow along home workouts, right? And I didn't anticipate doing these workouts. I didn't even want to do these workouts. I used to just love to go to the gym and lift weights, right? But I started doing these bodyweight workouts because I had no choice. I didn't have equipment at home. That's all. I had minimal equipment at home. I had like maybe a pull-up bar on the door frame, but that's it, right? And I was doing it consistently because I had to go to the gym. It was more for psychological reasons. And by the time the summer hit, I was in good shape, while everyone else got fat and out of shape. And what I noticed is many people that I knew, even the guy my friend who stopped working out with me, right? Because I remember I told him he lived near me. I was like, hey, like you should come over. Let's do some more body weight workouts. He only did one workout with me, and that's it. And it got to the point that it's even now he doesn't go to the gym anymore. He just completely stopped going to the gym. Like COVID, like ended the gym for him. And the gyms are open, he just has an excuse, like he doesn't go anymore. And I don't want to shit on him because he's a great guy, but many other people do the same thing. There's many other people I know who were in the gym, they were in shape, and they just completely stopped going to the gym. They stop doing any sort of physical activity. And obviously, this is not just a gym video, but the gym is a good example to talk about. But if you've read the 48 Laws of Power, Law 48, it's called assume formlessness, right? Most people resist change. People want to stay the same, right? They freeze, they stay the same. But the people who actually adapt to change are the ones who win, the ones who go ahead, right? So Bruce Lee once said, empty your mind, be formless, shapeless like water. You put water into a cup, it becomes a cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes a bottle. You put water into a teapot, it becomes a teapot. Now, water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Now, I don't think Bruce Lee just said that just to sound like really different and cool. Like there's some meaning behind it. He's basically saying don't be rigid, right? I made a video on this in the past. I made a video on this like recently, but he mentions like don't be rigid, like adapt. Things are unpredictable. You're gonna get thrown into situations. COVID was an example, right? And this is not only for fitness. I talked about a fitness example. This is for business as well, right? Businesses always face some sort of unpredictable change. Last week, I faced some situation in business that there's something I usually do that always works, and it didn't work this one time I needed it. This one time that I needed it, it did not work, right? And it was because of something that was completely out of my control. And I could have just sat down and been like, damn, oh, I'm not going to get it done because it's not working. No, I had to find another way to do it. I had to pay extra money and find another way to do it. You have to do what you have to do, right? And that's the thing. Even now, right? Even leading up to me moving to Chicago, right? I'm originally from New York. Before I moved to Chicago, I was applying to jobs to get to Chicago, right? Because I knew I wanted to leave my hometown. And I was like, maybe if I did it with a job. Jobs were taking forever. There were interviews. I was waiting, and then I'm hearing, oh, it's actually harder because you're from another state. So they need to know how committed you are, and it's going to take even longer. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to move. And I rented an Airbnb and went straight to Chicago and started my own business anyway. So I haven't been applying to jobs, which I find even better than getting a job. But the point is, if I would have just waited, I could have still been in my parents' house right now. I could have been in my parents' house another year. I was like, I don't want to be in my parents' house another year. I'm already in my late 20s. I was like, let me just take this chance, right? And then figure out from there. Make myself formless, make myself adapt to a new environment. And that's the point of what you need to go through here. Think of COVID. When COVID happened, how many businesses went bankrupt and failed because they weren't ready for the pandemic? And then the ones that adapted on the spot, the ones who face the same struggles as the businesses that failed, had to do some sort of adaptation to make their business succeed. And not only did those businesses succeed, but they thrived. They became very lucrative. They got more rich because of it. They got very rich. Some businesses took off out of thin air because of it. And basically what I wanted to talk about is life doesn't always go to plan, right? And you have to be able to adapt. Winners are the ones who adapt to situations, right? The losers just sit down, they wait, and they make excuses on why the things are not working. Oh, it's because there's a pandemic, so I can't go to the gym, so I'm out of shape. It's like, no, you could have worked out. You could work out at home if you really wanted to. You just choose not to, right? You want to be able to adapt to it. So be like water, right? Just adapt. Take shape into whatever you're put into. Don't don't be like most people. Don't be like most people and stick and think sticking and staying and staying the same is gonna keep you is gonna get you to a better life. It won't. And yeah, I just thought this would be a very good topic to talk about because that's what I experienced with the gym. The I started doing jujitsu after that, and I wasn't even lifting weights. I still stayed in shape, but I just noticed most people like don't like what that one little thing. Like most people would rather just eat cookies all day and get fat than be in shape. But that's the thing. This video is not for most people. This video is for the few, the very few who don't want to be like everyone else. Situations like this are, think about it, maybe there's some discomfort, there's some growing pains, there's some things you got to get used to, right? But when you adapt, you slowly separate yourself from everyone else. And that's what you want to do. You want to separate yourself from everyone else. You want to make yourself slowly better than everyone else, right? And I don't mean it in a condescending way. I mean it in a high achiever way, right? Like the COVID example, I was in better shape than everyone, than like most people I knew, right? Even a lot of people I went to college with got fat and out of shape, right? They waited for the gyms to open up. I was already, I had abs. I had six pack abs. People were like, "You're even in better shape than before COVID. What happened?" And I was just like, I was working out, and I wasn't drinking alcohol. That's another thing too. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I hope this resonates with you. Comment below if it resonates with you, and I'm gonna keep creating more content like this. Yeah. Take care.